what makes a language feel alive? It's not just grammar or vocabulary, it's idioms. Those little phrases that paint picture in your mind and make you sound like a native. But here's the thing about idioms, they can feel like a nightmare to learn if you don't have the right approach. Today, I'm going to tell you exactly how to master idioms without pulling your hair out. At first, let me share something with you. Mini Monday idioms. I promise it's one of the most fun ways to really get those idioms into your language toolkit and make them stick. Every Monday, I share a mini PDF in my Telegram channel. It's not just a list of idioms. Each week, the idioms are tied to my English cloud speaking task, which you can join on Telegram. Links in the description. So you can learn them in a relevant context. That's super important because the key to mastering idioms is understanding how they fit into real life conversations. Here's how it works. Grab the PDF. Every Monday, you get a simple short PDF with idioms based on the theme of that week's speaking task, and I kept it short and sweet so it's easy to follow. Then, learn the idioms. Each idioms comes with an explanation and a real-life example so you can fully understand its meaning. You won't just memorize them. You'll actually know how to use them in conversations and use them. I encourage everyone to take the idioms and try them out in their own sentences. Practice make perfect, right? And also join the fun. It's not just about reading and learning. It's about joining the challenges. We share examples, chat, and even challenge each other to use the idioms in creative ways. Plus, I'm always around to help if you get stuck. Honestly, learning idioms doesn't have to be boring or overwhelming. With this challenge, you're getting a bite-sized way to improve your language skills every single week, and it's a lot of fun. If you haven't joined yet, I'd love for you to be a part of it. Just click the link below to join the Telegram channel and let's make Monday your new favorite day of the week. You'll be learning new idioms, having fun, and sounding like a native speaker in no time. Now, let me show you how I've been learning idioms and how you can do the same. Don't overload yourself. Focus on one idiom at a time. This is my golden rule. One idiom a day. That's it. Not 10, not even 5, just one. Here's how I do it. I listen to podcasts every day for about an hour maybe, not because I want to remember everything they say, but because I want to find one idiom that jumps out at me. Just one. When I hear it, I pause the podcast, maybe write it down, and look it up if I don't understand it. Then, for the rest of the day, I try to use that idiom in my own sentences. For example, I recently heard the idiom like a rabbit in the headlights while listening to one of my favorite podcasts. It means feeling frozen or overwhelmed when confronted with something unexpected. So I spent the day thinking of scenarios where I could use it. Like when my brother asked me if I fixed the Wi Fi yet, and I said, I'm like a rabbit in the light when it comes to tech stuff. He rolled his eyes, but hey, I was practicing English. Understand the story behind the idiom. Idioms are like mini stories. When you know the story, the idiom becomes easier to remember. Take spill the beans, for example. It comes from ancient Greece, where people voted using beans. If someone spilled the jar of beans, it revealed the secret vote. Cool, right? So, whenever I learn a new idiom, I dig a little into its history or imagine my own silly story for it. For spill the beans, I picture myself at a dinner party accidentally knocking over a bowl of beans and everyone suddenly learning my embarrassing secret. that mental image stick, and I never forget the idiom. Use idioms in real conversations. You can't learn idioms by keeping them locked in your notebook. You have to use them. Yes, even if it feels awkward at first. When I was learning burning the midnight oil, which means working late into the night, at that time I forced myself to use it. The next time I was talking to a friend, I said, I've been burning the midnight oil to finish editing my YouTube video. And you know what? They understood me. So don't be shy. Slip an idiom into your next conversation, even if it feels like you're trying to show off. Visualize the idiom. Some idioms are weird, like kick the bucket, which means to die. Who thought of that? Instead of stressing over why it's used, I create a funny mental picture. I imagine someone literally kicking a bucket and collapsing dramatically. It's silly, but it works. Visualization makes idioms memorable. If you're learning like a rabbit in the headlights, again, imagine a rabbit frozen in fear, staring into the bright lights of an oncoming car. The clearer the image in your mind, the easier it is to recall the idiom later. Watch how idioms are used in context. You can't learn idioms in isolation. You need to see them in actions. That's why I love watching TV shows, movies, and YouTube videos in English. When a character says an idiom, I pause, replay the scene, and try to understand how they used it. For example, I was watching Breaking Bad series, and a character said, "Put up a fence." It was impactful and it helped me understand that the idioms means setting limits to protect yourself. Create idioms flashcard, but add context. I'm not talking about boring flashcards with just the idiom and its meaning. I mean flashcards with sentences, pictures, or even doodles. For let the cat out of the bag, I drew a little cat popping out of a bag on the card. It was silly, but every time I saw it, I smiled and remembered the phrase. On the back of the card, I'd write a sentence like, I accidentally let the cat out of the bag about her surprise party. This way, I was learning the idiom in context, not just as a phrase floating in a space. Be patient. Idioms take time. Here's the truth no one tells you. You won't master idioms overnight, and that's okay. I've been learning English for years, and I always come across idioms I don't know. What's important is consistency. If you learn one idiom a day, that's 265 idioms in a year. Imagine how much richer your language will be. So don't rush. Take your time and enjoy the process. Let idioms reflect your personality. This might sound strange, but I like to adopt idioms that feel like me. For example, I love the phrase, the world is your oyster. It feels hopeful, like anything is possible. So I use it often because it resonates with my personality. So find idioms that match your vibe. Make idioms part of who you are, and they'll stick with you. Idioms are not just words, they're windows into culture, emotion, and connection. So, the next time you hear an idiom, don't let it scare you. Break it down, understand it, and make it yours. With time, patience, and a little humor, you'll not only learning idioms, you'll love them. And who knows, maybe one day you'll hit the jackpot and become an idiom master. Thank you so much for watching and spending time with me. If you found this helpful, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.